They can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Bringing you the women's round matchup between the 12th seeded Aubrey Banks and Gussie O'Sullivan versus Georgina Alexandre and Lisa Lalic, the 7th seed. Welcome, Patty. Can you do a quick introduction for us?
Sure. You know what? We'll wait till we get all the players with their partners. Okay. Because this is an interesting matchup here in the 16s of nationals, Anthony. We have Georgie Alexandre last season played the entire season with Georgie O'Sullivan. This year they find themselves as opponents in this round of 16 matchup here at nationals. Georgie O'Sullivan's teamed up today with Aubrey Banks. Aubrey's from out in Morton, Illinois, Anthony, and I've not had the pleasure of seeing her play yet. I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot this year of Alexandre and Lalic. And so on the far side over in that ad court, that is Miss Lalic from representing Essex Hunt Club, where her husband Sven is the director. They've done an amazing job with growing the paddle community over there. On our right side of the screen in the royal blue, Anthony, who do you think that is?
In the royal blue?
I'm going that. See, I don't think they're with their partner yet, so I think we have to hold up. We're confused. No. We're just going to wait till they're together with their partner. Georgie, Alexandre, and Lalic, they play out of the Essex Hunt Club. Georgie lives in Bernardsville, New Jersey. Lalic lives in Morristown. And, you know, when you talk about this match, the number 7 seeds, you know, Alexandre's had a really strong year. Lalic started off the year. She won Montclair, teamed up with Roxy Anika. And one of the themes about this paddle season, particularly on the men's side, but also some on the women's side, is more of a shifting of partnerships everywhere, Anthony. And I think, you know, with O'Sullivan and Alexandre having a great run, getting themselves into top 10 in the country, year-end season rankings, then decide to kind of go in different directions. Lalic started out the year with Anika. Roxy's not playing in this nationals. Hi, Roxy, we miss you. So it becomes intriguing, and the matchup is so fun when you have ex-partners because they know their partners' tendencies. They've played for a year,
right,
so they probably have played, I don't know, 8 tournaments together, Anthony, and I'm sure that there's been a lot of intel shared with their current partner.
I was just going to say that. Their strategy sessions will be in depth, highlighting strengths and weaknesses of each of the teams.
Yeah, and the teams of Banks and Sullivan, they've played a couple tournaments this year. And we'll talk about that a little bit. I think we're going to hear from our umpire in 1 second, Anthony.
Okay. And just as the umpire's getting ready to speak, all matches are regular scoring, best 2 out of the 3 sets, and our umpire today is Scott Gannon.
I thought we would hear from Scott.
Yeah, looks like he's getting ready.
We're on that. Banks, obviously from Chicagoland. She's played a couple tournaments. She played Hinsdale with Sandy Sefcovic, made it to the semis where they lost to Cruz and Morgan.
Of course.
Banks teamed up in the Steel City Classic with Spencer Granger, where she made it to the semis, going out to Howard Jackson. She played Cleveland with Koopsman. I mean, she's played with a lot of different partners, Anthony. But mostly, her results are more in the Chicagoland area, where
And the next three.
Gussie O'Sullivan, having played last year
so
full season on the tour, I think is really well equipped and a phenomenal player on the rise. And she's able to deal with most of the strengths
Good
of the
afternoon,
top
ladies
player
and gentlemen,
in the
and
game.
welcome to the round of 16, the APTA National Championships. On my right, from Morton Grove, Illinois, Aubrey Banks, and her partner from Glen Clove, New York, Gussie O'Sullivan. On my left, from Burnsville, New Jersey, Georgiana Alexandre, and her partner from Morristown, New Jersey, Liza Lalic.
Me here. Yep.
Here we go. Lalic to serve.
Lalic to serve. It's Alexandre with the red hat. So that is Audrey Banks over in that deuce court in the royal
love.
blue sweatshirt.
Great serve.
And her partner in the ad court from Australia, Gussie O'Sullivan.
All.
Our number 7 seeds here, Alexandre and Lalic, they played the recent event held at Short Hills, and they made it to the quarters
15,
there where they went
30.
out to Morgan Sikora, but 3 sets, 7-6 tiebreaker in the third set, Anthony.
Competitors here. Let's see. The temperature at start time is about 50 degrees. You can see the sun is out. It's a little breezy out there. We'll see if the wind has any impact on lobs.
Interestingly, in the Baltimore event held earlier this season, is when Anika and Lalic played, and in that one they were defeated by Alexandre and O'Sullivan. But then O'Sullivan and Alexandre made a change, and here we have our different partners for
30
nationals.
all.
Here we go. Great playing. 30 off.
These players started in the round of 64, Anthony, early this morning. A lot of these players played yesterday in the
40,
Fulton Cup, which is a team
30.
event the day before Nationals, named after Robin Fulton, who was here for the festivities. Robin, a many-time national champion, I think played in a phenomenal number of women's
Banks,
national
they
finals.
lead the first set, 1 game to none.
And quite an honor for her to have that pre-nationals event named after her. The men's side of it had named after our buddy Steve Baird, who was here last night. Steve is, he was former chair of the APTA Hall of Fame committee, and he was here to enjoy the induction last night, Anthony. Brookline Country Club, just a historic club, did the most remarkable job at a dinner last night. I'm not even talking about how fabulous the food was. They just had such a thoughtful presentation, and Johan Durant's acceptance speech was one of a kind. I could share it word for word, but I'd get in trouble by my mom in heaven if I shared some of his speech. But he really was gracious and fun and funny and insightful and poignant, and so appreciative of the honor of being inducted into the APTA Hall of Fame.
That's fantastic. He joins a very distinguished list of people, including yourself.
I believe he's the 92nd person to be inducted into the APTA Hall of Fame in its 96th season of play.
Just wide. Lalic had a little bit of a slow start breaking into this set.
15,
A couple of faults in
low.
the first game.
It's Aubrey Banks serving in the royal blue. Over in that ad court. That's Lalic hitting a little bit of a roll type of overhead. Gussie O'Sullivan in that deuce corner.
15 all.
When Lalic came onto the scene last year, I saw her play in a pro flight event, Anthony, and I I mean, it was the first time I'd ever seen her play. Lights out, ground strokes, forehand, backhand, her court coverage. She last year had her first little baby, and so missed a lot of play. And thrilled to have her back in the tour this season.
Sure, and I saw her play out in Montclair, in New Jersey, and realized right away she was
15,
very quick
30.
progression of her game, smarter and smarter playing, really quickly increased her court IQ, and I think faster than many people can in this sport. And I see that more and
15,
more. Just understanding
40.
the game, figuring it out, being more mature in their play early on, and she was definitely one of those.
Yeah, Anthony, a beautiful day outside Boston here in Brookline, Massachusetts for this event. And yesterday, they played in pouring rain, spirited event that we referred to earlier, the Fulton Cup and the Baird Cup. But out here, perfect conditions, and the historic club house is in the background, not of this shot, on the other shot. And they put up the stadium court. Amazing effort by this committee running the Boston Nationals. This event was to be hosted here a couple years ago, but because they hosted the Ryder Cup, they kind of bumped the Nationals, and that's when Drew Broderick stepped up to the plate, and we hosted it out of Canoe in Summit, New Jersey. So we're back here in Brookline for this, and with our new inductee into the Hall of Fame.
Game, Lalic. First set is
Mitchell
1-1.
looking for a repeat. And for Durant, he's seeking his 7th national title and 4th with Stephen Mitchell.
It's nice to be at your home club.
15, love.
A national title.
Oh. 15, all.
So when you look at Lalic and Alexandre, Lalic has what I call easy power, Anthony. When she strikes the ball, she's just
15,
a pure ball
30.
striker. Alexandre, you see she's a phenomenal athlete, tall, lanky player, really scrappy. Good, she covers a lot of court. And they've teamed up a tournament ago, so I haven't seen them play that much together. But I know that Alexandre's game has just in the last 2 years lights out. She has ascended up into the top 8, teams in the country with her consistency, pretty solid shot selection, and that court coverage. She's got to hang in there a little bit. I do notice sometimes when people bring a bullet drive, she tends to back off, and we'll see if that's a factor. You can see it right here. Great hands to cover.
Position for sure.
And that's where great pressure from Banks in that royal blue sweatshirt, Anthony. She came in, she really had the advantage in the point. And that's where, I think the more experience she has playing longer points, better players, she'll spot her drives just a little bit better to be able to capitalize on when she does get a short ball.
40.
And putting that ball possibly on, if you're a backhand volley or on that player's right side and try to chicken wing them. I like Banks' strokes, though.
30,
Takes the ball nice
40.
and early. Good swing.
Hey, Lisa, Aussie. Yep.
There's the country club in the background. Beautiful shot.
Hit it!
I mean, it's hard to imagine 2 years ago, the Ryder Cup here, hundreds of thousands of people, and hundreds of thousand people do here over the course of 4 days this week, and right back at the country club in Brookline, Mass.
I didn't realize how expansive the grounds are here. It's a beautiful old style, plenty of space.
Deuce.
It's interesting, you saw a little fist pump right there from Georgie Alexandre, and because even though it's only 1-1 and it's so early in this match, it's critical for their confidence in this match. I think for them as the 7th seeds to get a good start.
You talk about seeds in the Nationals. When you get to this round, when you have the 7th seed and the 12th seed, don't kid yourself. They're thinking about that they are the favorites and they need to win this match. And to your point, they are probably feeling it that they need to get their feet underneath them and get the win and get the confidence to keep pushing through. In the 16th, the Nationals, as the higher seeds, there is more pressure than in any other tournament. So they certainly feel that, and I agree.
Well, I hope everybody out in Morton Grove, Illinois is watching this, because I am impressed in the early goings here with Aubrey Banks. Like I said, we never saw her play. I went out at lunch to try to find her, just to meet her, get a little intel, so we could talk about her. But I didn't get a chance to meet her yet. But I'm really impressed with how O'Sullivan and Banks have started this match.
Yes. Go.
Advantage, Lalic.
And I think that's what Banks and O'Sullivan are going to face a lot of. Alexandre and Lalic have a real good ability to capitalize when one of them has hit a ball that's dipping at their opponent's feet. You know, both of Lalic and Alexandre's wingspan, span incredible. So they're going to be able to like blitz and really put a lot of pressure on O'Sullivan and Banks, I think, in this match.
You hit it.
And Lalic, I love her movement right there. Anthony, we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second.
Lalic, they lead the first set 2-1.
Aon is so proud to be a title sponsor of the APTA Nationals. Aon exists to shape decisions for the better. Aon provides their clients with advice and risk and human capital solutions that give them the clarity and confidence to make better decisions to protect and grow their business. Aon is in the business of better decisions. And how perfect to have them be a sponsor of a sport that is so dependent on phenomenal decision making.
Decisions.
I mean,
and you notice there, and I think as we were talking about this situation and what Lalic and Alexandre need to do up there, you could see Lalic is varying her overheads all over that court, all over the backcourt to test what's going on there, see how they're handling the screens, how they're handling moving left and right. And I don't think they've settled specifically on what their longer-term strategy would be, but they are definitely probing for weaknesses with Banks and O'Sullivan.
Hit. Hit.
Testing out the harder shots, the softer shots, screens.
she's got a lot of weapons.
A lot of different looks.
But like Aon, it comes down to decision making. Is that the right shot in the moment? And sometimes if it's a shot that has a little bit more risk for you individually, you really think about it. Think about the score, and you think about what's your highest percentage place on the court to try to aim that shot. Great defensive play, Anthony, from Banks over in that ad corner.
Great composure. I don't know how Banks could turn the wrong way at first, followed it into the corner.
15.
Great shot.
I'll tell you, Georgie Alexandre, of the 4 players, she's been a warrior. She's played a ton of events on the APTA Tour this season, with different partners, including Carrie Delmonico.
Amazing backhand there by Lalic.
Sasha Ninova.
30 all.
B. Lopez, Liz Cruz, and I give Alexandre a lot of credit where she went into this season with the mindset of play with as many different people as you can, learn as much about the game as you can, and then hopefully as you head toward nationals, you zero in on someone that you feel like you have a pretty good shot, and then your teamwork,
40,
is something that's built to stand up to the competition at the national championships.
And we talked a little bit about that at breakfast, just exposing yourself to different games, different styles, not only your opponents, but your partner as well. It really speeds up the acquisition of the game, of getting better and better by seeing just a huge variety of styles and plays.
Anthony, we've got 2 streams going all weekend long here in Brookline, Massachusetts for everyone to enjoy. We've got 2 channels. We've got this is the beautiful stadium court. This is going to be rocking as the day goes on, and we get so many more players and fans who will be present to watch the adventure unravel this afternoon.
Absolutely. The control room is buzzing right now. Everything's moving forward.
We will culminate with the men's final, which we believe will be Sunday, midday. We have a little rain coming in the morning on Sunday, and so the tournament committee has moved the men's semis onto Saturday afternoon. Instead of playing semis and finals on Sunday together, they've moved things up, rearranged all the schedules, and try to take advantage of the great weather, which we've had so much rain throughout this season, Anthony. It's been very tough. So I like the tournament decision to really try to put the players out there in the best of conditions.
And I think the way it's scheduled right now, it looks like we may have the chance to avoid playing in the wet weather altogether with this new schedule. So let's hope that stays the same.
Again, the red hat, that's Georgie Alexandre. Her partner, Liza Lalic, representing Essex Country Club, Peapack, New Jersey. Serving, Gussie O'Sullivan, and her partner, Aubrey Banks. Aubrey's got to travel more. I am so impressed with her play, Anthony. You can see her racket skills. I'm not familiar with her background. Clearly, she has a really strong tennis background.
Advantage O'Sullivan.
Anthony, I know you're jealous of the hat that I got this morning from the Fusion store. Fusion has a store that's open to the public where anybody can go and get the great gear. They have sweatshirts, they have jackets, they have hats, they have even a holder for your beer should the temperatures drop, Anthony, later, and you're worried about your left hand getting cold when you're holding that beer. They even sell those kinds of things. So they're located on the second floor here at the Country Club throughout this weekend, or you can go to their online store at Fusion. Go to gearbyfusion.com and look up 2024 APTA Nationals gear.
Walk by the swag store. There's plenty of nice options there. Some of the swag that the players will be receiving we can grab as well, and a lot of other stuff.
Anthony, we're getting intel on Banks from the one and only Mike Raleigh. So Banks, I think we were right that she has a little tennis background. Clearly, she's a pro. She's a pro at North Shore Country Club. She went to BYU.
Okay.
Game, Lalic. They lead the first set, 3-1.
You know, and you look at the talent here with Banks and O'Sullivan being the underdogs a little bit in this match, and you know, there's no shortcut for the match toughness and the amount of paddle that Lalic and Alexandre have played this season, and I think that goes a long way to be the difference maker in a match like this.
15
you can see the momentum has definitely moved into Lalic, even though her serve in the first game was a little tentative. She's just getting more and more momentum. She just hit 2 beautiful backhand drives, blitzed, and finished the point to go up 3-1. So she's taking a little bit more control.
15 all. What's that? Good then.
So many great sponsors. You see some of the banners around the court here. I mean, they tremendous sponsorship
15
for this
30.
event, making this setup. I mean, it truly feels like we're at a Ryder Cup. That's how impressive the Country Club setup is for this weekend. And you know, we're here with the production team from My Paddle. Some people call him Me Paddle. I call him My Paddle. And Jake, our producer, is here with probably like 8 assistant
15,
producers.
40.
We're all packed in a room together, bringing you the best nationals ever.
Yes, shout out to Jake, as always, doing a fantastic job. Control Central. If you saw it back here, the underworkings, you would be amazed on how this all is produced.
Going after me?
You know,
30, 40.
that's an interesting thing right there. You see the height of Lalic, and she just hit that ball. I wouldn't call it a waterfall overhead. She just like hit that shot and got it out of the reach of O'Sullivan. I think O'Sullivan, you know, made a late decision in choosing to play the screen, and as a consequence of that, then couldn't come up with the shot. I think she's a ball striker off the deck, and when she commits to that, great. I think, like right there, she went and blocked that ball really deep in the court. And the problem is you might make the first one, but now here we are, short lob, short lob, short lob, and here's Lalic just, you know, kind of figuring out what she wants to do.
Yes, and that's early on. She was trying to find that right spot, and you're absolutely right. She has hit probably now 7 to 10 of those same shots, testing that deep stretch into that back corner screen, and it might be the spot that she's focusing on now going forward.
Right, and I think that's what happens. You kind of test the corners, and then you see, okay, if there's something you can go after, and as two righties, it's easier to attack that player in that ad court. And so just as a default, that happens all the time in paddle. Wow, that was a great get from Lalic right there. Stay with that shot, got her paddle really low, Anthony. She knew she was playing a screen at the beginning and got her hands down really low, just like we were talking about at breakfast today, versus holding her hands up high, which I call the prayer position because you can't make a screen if your hands are up high. You've got to get down so that you're under the ball.
Banks.
I mean, these four players, when you look at them and their individual skills, this is an even matchup here.
It does, absolutely looks like it.
Deuce.
And I'm still trying to decide if Lalic likes to hit her forehand or backhand more. She looks like she gets momentum moving behind the backhand.
She can hit either.
I know.
I'm telling you, Anthony.
I'm trying to decide. You know, a lot of times when we have too many choices, we freeze a little bit on choosing forehand or backhand. But it looks like she's favoring her backhand a little bit more, brings her into the net.
Well, Anthony, that's how you and I think. Are we getting our forehand backhand? I think if we're Lalic, she's like, bring it. It's a backhand, bring it. It's a forehand, bring it.
Right.
I mean, that's how much confidence she has in her ground strokes. Again, I don't know if O'Sullivan's battling the sun a little in that ad court, Anthony.
Definitely working
Game.
that high shot into the corner there.
They lead the first set 4 games
Resulted
to
with a
1.
short.
Volley would like to thank the APTA Tournament Host Club, players and pros for an amazing 23-24 season with over 1.3 million balls thrown this year. Volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving users personalized performance insights to track progress and improve their game. Download the Volley app now by searching Volley Racket in your app store. For more information, visit getvolley.com/get started. We'll see you all next season. And good luck in Nationals. Anthony, it's interesting because we were at breakfast this morning with Brad Easterbrook
Ball was out.
talking about the difference in levels, and you know, it's subtle going from one level to another level, and you know, you can see people who PTIs maybe are 10 apart and what the differences are, and you know, for the most part, I always think from like in this match right here, the screenplay and the gets Alexandre and Lalic have come up with, you know, they come up with them frequently. And I think just a little bit,
30,
O'Sullivan's getting a little bit picked on. She's not the tallest player out there.
Right.
And I think because she's such a supreme ball striker, she does look to pounce on that forehand, but maybe it puts her in a little bit of a, you know, a tougher position to then make the screen. And I just think when you're playing against the height of Lalic and Alexandre on their overheads, I think she can commit earlier that she knows she's playing a screen. She's not going to get away with just reaching and backing and blocking that ball.
Right. I've seen a lot of that, and I think you're absolutely right. She needs to commit to getting comfortable on that screen, letting it develop. You're right, though. It could be some sun in there, but Lalic doesn't seem to be struggling in that corner with the sun.
Anthony, the winner of this match will come out on the top half of the draw and play the winner of our number 1 seeds and defending national champs, Limbers and
40,
Macy Elliott.
love.
But first, they have to get a win out against Hall of Famer team of Prendergast and Zink.
Yes.
Cindy and Lauren, the longest running team playing here in the national championships.
40,
I think
15.
from 10 years ago, you've got what's that stat, Anthony? We have Durant Mitchell as the longest playing team on the men's side, and Prendergast
40,
and Zink
30.
Oh, really?
having played the most on the women's side
Okay.
coming into this national championship. You know, Anthony, we haven't seen that many of the sidearm roller type of serves here, and this is what Banks is bringing to the table.
Very, very consistent. I like her serve.
Anika loves her sidearm serve, but you don't see it anywhere as much in the women's game as you see it in the men's game.
Deuce. Loud.
I was just going to say, I don't think she's faulted, and of course the commentators curse.
Advantage, Lalic.
See, that's the problem. A little tentative serve there.
And huge
And-
forehand.
You know, you hit that shot, you hit the sidearm serve to keep the ball down low. And it seems like it would make good sense against a player like Lalic, but she can hit anything. And when you hit short, it doesn't matter how high or low bouncing. If you hit
Game.
short, you're going to get attacked.
Lalic.
And Lalic can attack
They
forehand
lead
or
the first
backhand, as
set,
we've seen.
5 games to
And
1.
They're in command of this match, up 5-1 in the first set.
You got it. You go. You go. You.
There's that soft overhead into the corner again. After 2, O'Sullivan was struggling with that again.
15.
So they found a
love.
safe spot, and they are absolutely covering the net impeccably, which means even the offensive opportunities that are coming up are not allowing any openings.
Beat it. You go.
Oh,
But she was feeling it, you know.
She
She
was
went for
feeling
she
it.
let that ball drop, and the
She
lower,
did.
the more you let it drop, the riskier it becomes.
15 all.
But that's okay. I mean, I like the swing.
Oh, it hit her?
yeah, and that's
It hit her, I think
that's
it's her
what,
point.
exactly. That's what I was just trying to figure
Yeah.
out. It did hit her.
Great strategy if
30.
you can master that.
Love.
You. You.
If I'm Banks and O'Sullivan, I've really got to focus on some lobbing, some placement, like starting to work some schemes a little bit with consistency. Because I feel like they're in get the ball back mode,
Yes.
not screw them up as the net team. And when you're back there and you have players as good as Lalic and Alexandre, you've got to mix up some shots here and try to get them playing a little bit more off balance. They seem super comfortable at the net in this match.
And you can tell as we saw in that last point with Lalic free swinging at those overheads, they're very comfortable at the net. They're covering it
30,
perfectly,
15.
which means that there's very little that Banks and O'Sullivan can do right now. But you're right, they just need to keep lobbing and giving some variety to the lobs left and
Yeah.
right to see what's going to open up.
Sorry, that's all. You're good. Thank you.
And O'Sullivan does have a
30
beautiful
all.
forehand, and she's won 2 points back-to-back on it. Little confusion with that volley with Alexandre and Lalic there. And you can see
40,
Alexandre.
30.
She's a graceful player. She's all arms and legs, Anthony. Her arms and legs. I don't think ours all combined to add up to hers, and she's all over the place. She has great court movement.
You talk about covering the court in thirds. I think they're covering more than 2/3 of the court with the wingspan they have out there.
Oh, yeah. See, I think for Alexandre, the key for her, Anthony, is that she stays committed when she's the player to the right at the net, that she has to stay on her backhand. She has a tendency to float over a little bit, to move a little bit toward the center, ever so slightly, and then it opens you up to having to flip your paddle back, forehand and backhand. And I just think in the women's game, there's such solid shot making and pounding this ball straight ahead. And I think that's where Alexandre, I would even like her to get a little bit closer and on top of the net, especially with a partner who's 6 feet tall, who can cover the next ball as a lot. See right there, Georgie likes to float over and maybe take her partner shot, where I think against, if they get through this match, a higher level team, she's going to really have to stick with her third, splitting the court in thirds and covering her third.
Yes.
Not worrying about covering two of them at the same time. Right, like right there. She just stayed on the line. And see, then that keeps the backhand, the volley on her backhand, and keeps it down low.
Advantage, Banks.
Here we go. Aussie, yep.
Game, Banks, O'Sullivan.
The second half of that
Lalic
game,
leads the
Banks and
first
O'Sullivan,
set,
they
5
extended the point a little
games,
bit. They
2.
started getting those lobs deep down the line.
Ball change.
And it worked out. We'll see if 5-2 sometimes, especially coming from 5-1 to 5-2, gives you a little life.
Yeah, Banks and O'Sullivan, I mean, they're right here. There's not a huge separation. There is with the score. But it's really just coming down to a little bit of the screenplay.
Screenplay, and I think as we move into the second set, we're going to see them play better and better. They're still, it's taking them a little bit longer, but they're still figuring things out. But
hey, and maybe they're on the live stream, and you look up, and this is a historic place, and that's got to just give you that interesting feeling. That's between excitement and nausea, and you have to balance it when you're out there as a player at times.
That is so true. There's nothing quite like the Nationals and working out all the kinks and knowing you're on live streaming.
Anthony, did you know the Country Club is the oldest golf-oriented country club in the United States?
I did not.
The Philly Cricket Club, founded in 1854, was the first. And then we had Brookline. What an amazing place here.
15
formed by a group
all.
of guys from Boston in 1882. This club is listed on the USGA's list of first 100 clubs in America. And interestingly, Anthony, because I'm a golfer, so I found this interesting, in 1894, the Country Club was one of 5 charter clubs which founded the United States Golf Association.
Wow.
Burrs and Elliott won the first set in their round of 16 matchup against Hall of Famers Prendergast and Zink.
Okay.
Second set underway. Seeing right there, Lalic had wide open court,
30,
cross court.
15.
Banks was way back deep. Didn't recognize it.
And she chose to go straight ahead. I think she was trying to outsmart the net player. I think get her to commit to the middle, but maybe overthought it.
30
But again, right there, that
all.
play. How many times this year have I seen Lynn Burrs where she just cracks a return to serve right at the net player? Picked off Hanisch a couple times in their last matchup. The aggressiveness, off of the return to serves. That's another big difference out here. It's hard for Banks and O'Sullivan to hit the ball that much harder to be able to offset. But I don't think hitting harder is the key, especially
40.
against Lalic. You've just got to be able to serve that ball deeper. Gives you a little bit more time to see that first volley.
So true.
Wide open, middle of the court on that return to serve.
I don't think they wanted any part of that, and Lalic saw it, and she adjusted her swing just to get that ball in.
Right, we see a ton of that in men's play, Anthony, where the guys will on purpose just let the ball go through the middle of the court. But I feel like
Game, Lalic. They win the first set 6 games to 2.
I'll tell you what I think after this, Anthony, after our break. We're going to be right back.
We'll be right back with it after a word from our sponsors, Volley.
What I love most about the volley machine is I can come down here and work on my game when I can't find friends.
Volley and I have been dating for several months now, and things are getting pretty serious.
My favorite thing about the volley trainer is to be able to work on the target, contact window, and tool all in my vision.
My favorite shot with the volley trainer is the push volley.
I really love the video feature of the volley machine. That has really helped me improve.
I know.
Okay, welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Country Club, bringing you the 2024 APTA Boston Nationals. We're in the round of 16 between the 12th seed Aubrey Banks and Gussie O'Sullivan versus the 7th seed Georgina Alexandre and Liza Lalic. Lalic and Alexandre won the first set 6-2, and here we are in the first game of the second set.
A little bit of a flyer there on the overhead again. She's free swinging.
She's free swinging.
I love the attempt because they have a cushion. She can afford to make some errors here.
She feels good. She's experimenting a little bit. She's had a lot of success hitting overheads into the screens, into the corners, and keeping Banks and O'Sullivan on very, very much defense in that backcourt.
And Anthony,
so why not?
To your point at breakfast this morning, when you talk about players and they have to try out stuff in the big time, they have to work on a variety of overheads. We see so many players and the pros on the stream all the time, and they just make it look so easy. Well, Lalic is still working on that shot, and she's one of the top women's players in the game. And because she's using it, she's going to get to the point where she has the shot on demand under pressure.
Game, Lalic.
And that's a skill.
They lead the first, second set.
A lot of times we revert back to our comfort level. We don't expand our shot selection, and it's a big credit to her confidence. And yeah, she's working on better and better shots right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and that's where when you have the luxury of score on your side and a cushion, that's a great time to work on, out some new things that you've been working on through the season. You've been practicing it. Get that volley machine out there. It's the repetition. There's nothing short of repetition, and all these pros, they're so good because they have that repetition. And now that repetition is there for all club level players thanks to the volley machine. So this is going to be key right here, I think. I want to see if Banks and O'Sullivan can control the net. I'm just not convinced that they've got the sliding and the positioning ironed out. And, Georgie Alexandre hit a nice forehand, not lights out, but it went as a winner just because of the little positioning, and then certainly makes that next serve much more difficult for Banks. And this is where Banks and O'Sullivan need to keep their composure, and they need to hang in there and just remember the match, their talent matches up. They're going to have to come up with some little tactical adjustments here in order to get this match close. And again, that's the second forehand from Alexandre. She didn't even have to really move for. So poor, tough overhead coming from that spot on the corner on the right side, going all the way across court. And if you don't get that ball in two screens, you are vulnerable. Right. And I like that Alexandre just sat on that shot. She's just standing there waiting for it.
And exactly.
They lead the second set, 2 games
are having a
to
tough time hitting enough good overheads in a row to keep that the offense at bay.
Right, and O'Sullivan, she had the drive, and Lalic was right there. She had space in front of her, and it's that recognition of where the players are in the court before you pull the trigger. That's why you want to hit a ball that's between you and the net, not between you and the back screen if you're going to drive it, so that you can actually start to gain awareness and adjust your shots based on the positioning of the opposing team. But that recognition is, the ability to slow down, play in your head, and not just play reactive now.
15 all.
Sullivan made a great jump up that line too, and just recognized that they were going to come back to her.
30-15.
Lalic's pace on her overheads has been problematic for Banks and O'Sullivan all day. She's really controlling making that backcourt team make a decision if they're going to let it go to the screen, let it go from 1 to 2 screens, and let it go off the deck. And you can tell it's been O'Sullivan's been a little bit in her head, trying to figure out the best approach to defending that.
I think she just missed it.
30
But
all.
she recognized the shot, just closed in, went for just a little too much on that. Straight ahead volley would have worked like a charm. Great lob right there from O'Sullivan. Unfortunately, great court coverage like we talked about. Lalic and Alexandre, and then they get right back and are able to neutralize the point. Phenomenal pressure from Banks there.
Let's go.
Just didn't
40-30.
didn't capitalize at the very
Good
end.
approach. And
A little over eager there.
got the line.
So Alexandre hitting a little bit, much more spin on that ball, Anthony, on her overhead. I like that Lalic and Alexandre are working on their overheads.
Lalic, they lead the second set, 3 games to love.
Hey, Anthony, Labor, your strategic talent partner for technology transformation, the sponsor of this year's national. Through Labor's strategic partnerships, the firm offers a range of talent services spanning advisory, niche staff augmentation, and executive search. Labor, is that how it is, Anthony?
I think it's
Labor. I think it's Labor.
Labor.
So Lalic, Alexandre on cruise control. 6-2 up 3-0, second set here.
And this is going to be a tough one to come back from at this point. And we can see it. Lalic and Alexandre they're free swinging. They're trying. They're hitting more and more aggressive overheads. They're really feeling comfortable out there. Extends that point enough to
15 all.
Great guess.
Great volley there by Sullivan.
Yeah, it seems like whether it's Banks or O'Sullivan over in that ad-court corner,
30-15.
they're not matching up very well. But that ability of
15-30.
Lalic to hit with her height, she reaches up, has a pretty high contact point. Just leaving that ball against the back screen,
They're
really tough
sticking
to
with
defend.
her. It's maybe not quite a waterfall, but it's every single one is creating a decision point for them to try to take it off the deck or let it go off the screen. She's done it 15 times as much so far.
You know how, Anthony, the weather, the temperature impacts your overheads, and the temperature right out here, it's a beautiful day, 50-degree day in March. It's the perfect. If it was a little warmer, it would make those screens so much easier for the baseline team to come up with.
No.
All right. So Banks and O'Sullivan, they got to dig in deep. They got to play a
40.
really long point here. You know, this match is just going way too fast, and they literally have to slow it down. They should start tying their sneakers, do something. Try to just get more time here on the stadium court.
And that's all it takes at this point. One long game, one long point.
Game, Lalic. They lead the second set.
I'll tell you,
4
Lalic,
games to low.
Lalic and Alexandre they're not blinking. They're not giving them anything. Every shot seems to be finding a good place in that backcourt. It's even just the ad court.
Yeah, and they're, you know, how many unforced errors have they made so far? Like, Lalic missed 2 overheads. You can't, you know, I think maybe Alexandre missed 2 volleys, but their eyes on the prize, and it's their quarterfinal matchup. They think they'll probably come out. It sounds like they'll come out against Burrs, Elliott, who are up a decent amount in their match against Prendergast and Zink. And at Nationals, these early round matches, you've got to get off the court. You've got to be efficient.
It's all about efficiency for sure.
Yeah, you just can't spend too much energy. It's a long grind, couple of days.
Even when they're developing a great point like that, Lalic is all over the net.
And that's the problem. O'Sullivan came out of that ad court corner, almost looked like she hit a squash type of shot. She's probably a squash pro too. But, you know, sometimes it's not the right shot when you have a player on top of the net ready for the volley.
30 all.
Under the,
okay.
Under the, sorry. Take one, is that? I'll take one. Yep, we're good.
Looks like they replaced the ball because the other one couldn't be found, so we have a new ball.
$30-40.
Banks and O'Sullivan, that's what they need. They need Lalic and Alexandre to do them a lot of favors and gift them some freebies here to see if they can get into this match. But I don't think Alexandre and Lalic are going to be generous.
They gave one, and they gave Banks and O'Sullivan gave it right back.
Wondering if someone got hit by the ball.
Yes, Lalic questioned that.
Advantage, Banks.
It's up to the player themselves. The umpire did not see it. Love the stadium court. Kudos to Riley Green Mountain. Put up this court for the national championships. Banks had that first drive, hit it to Alexandre, got the second drive. And just, you know, that's where she's got to pick a pocket of a player at the net. You know, no matter how much space looks like you have it, if the player can keep reaching on their backhand to their left, they're probably going to come up with their shot. Much more difficult to move to your right to come up with the ball. Okay, there we go. Bob got Alexandre one step beyond the service line. That's a good thing to watch at home. We talked about O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan and Banks need to get some higher, deeper lobs in here. Try to get this very tall team, Lalic and Alexandre, deeper in the court. Because they're just dictating play way too much here from the net.
I'm here.
You hear the early communication? I'm here. I'm taking that shot.
Here. And four in a row to that same spot, off to the side screen. And you can see Lalic is also using those overheads to bait Banks and O'Sullivan into some drives because she's so confident at the net and closes so well at the net. Why not? Why not look for an opportunity to take an offensive volley?
Game, Lalic. They lead.
A little bit of an early celebration.
5 games to
Everybody
love.
hug at 5
At
love?
5 love.
Well, 5 love. Why not hug? In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel, backed by a team. Hi, Jody. Hi, Randy. Hi, Dana. Of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into live elite merchandise. And if you come to the country club anytime throughout the course of the weekend, go to the Fusion store and get an autographed product from 4-time national champ Mark Parsons.
That was a huge drive, short overhead, big drive by Alexandre.
Pull that ball in.
Umpire didn't see the ball.
You played it out. Okay, so I just want to make sure. Sorry.
O'Sullivan didn't come up with that. Just missed it wide.
No, just fine.
The squash floater backhand work there. She just hit it straight ahead, a little off speed.
One of the first times Lalic hasn't closed on the net, so she was a little deeper than she wanted to be.
O'Sullivan loves that roller overhead. She has her grip way over Anthony, like how she strikes a forehand drive off the deck. She has that roller overhead a ton. Kind of a Nicky Leslie-like.
Lalic likes it. I mean, 30. The Lalic and Alexandre, they like pace on the ball. So hitting that ball into the forehand side of Lalic, she's looking for it. She catches it on the rise. Maybe better suited looking for the side screens.
2 match points. Alexandre and Oh, that bounced out of the court.
30, 40. Another one?
No, I got it.
I think they'll be able to find that.
I only got one left.
I'm going to try not to do this anymore.
I mean, how loose do Alexandre and Lalic from the onset of this match? They just are totally chill out here and relaxed, and you know they're eyeing their quarterfinal matchup with Burris and Elliott.
And even in the moments where Banks and O'Sullivan are playing well, they've just been relentless.
Game.
And there it is.
Second set, 6 games
Anthony
to
just
love.
Lalic,
Lalic,
Alexandre, a little bit
wins
too much of
6-2,
everything.
6 love.
Firepower, but
You're welcome.
their positioning and their net play, overheads, particularly Lalic, just dictated this
Absolutely
entire
covered.
match.
They covered the net superbly, didn't give really many offensive opportunities, and worked the screens really, really well. That's a wrap from the 2024 APTA Nationals round of 16. And join us again soon on the stadium court. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you, Anthony.
Every day, big decisions are made without full information. Overloaded by data. Compounded by complexity. Better decisions are made in the light. With clarity and confidence. Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Nantucket.
South Africa.
I would say it's Croatia. People are really nice there and it's really beautiful.
I would probably try and stash that money or give it away somewhere, otherwise it's going to mess up my life, like they say if you won the lottery.
A house. I don't know. I would invest the money. Love is blind.
I think you're deceitful. How?
100% my guilty pleasure. Definitely Love is Blind.
Tell me that he was one of your strongest connections.
You never told me it was Izzy.
It's so bad that it makes it good.
Oh, this is dodgy. I have to watch Bachelor or one of those shows with my wife. I don't even know which one.
Espresso martini.
Gin and tonic. Margarita.
Tequila soda, always.